From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Toni-Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, our friend Curt Stone is joining us to talk all about his return to Universal. After 20 years, he went to Epic Universe, and then he spent some time at Disney. We're going to talk about it on episode 445 of the Disney Crush Podcast. How you doing, David?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to have Curt here. It's so cool to have Curt here, and I'm a little bit not skeptical. I'm a little bit nervous because I have a feeling he really liked Universal, and I'm scared to go to Universal because I'm scared I'm gonna really like it a lot, and might want to go back there all the time. So that could be dangerous. What made you? I mean, because it's been so long. So was it Epic Universe that pushed you to go there, Curt?
My wife, Margita, pushed me to go there. I was waiting on her. I've been asking her to go back even before Epic Universe. And quite honestly, I think it was mostly the expense of trying to do both Universal Studios and Disney. You know, we get being Disney goers that go with an annual pass. I had free airfare even this time. And DVC sometimes. Disney is affordable for me for multiple trips. And Margita, boy, she really loves Disney, as you guys know, just as much as me, or maybe even more. But I've been, of course, doing the podcasts. I hear about Universal, and I love to do that. Margita books people for Universal. And then with Epic, yeah, I think even more so when I had Glenn and Rebecca. I think we're the first guests for sure that described Epic Universe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I felt like you too, Dave, in a little bit. Of course, we're a little bit partial to Disney World, but that's a good thing. Competition overall is a really good thing. And maybe we'll talk about that as we dig into the comparisons of the two.
I heard you talking on your podcast this week about that you took a really early flight this trip.
This was the earliest one ever. I think Margita was probably up at 1:30 and I was up about 2:00. And so I only lived like 45 minutes from the airport, but my daughter Lindsay drove us, and I forget what time we boarded, guys, but it was really early. I want to say 6:00, something like that.
Was there a weirdo at the airport? I saw your notes.
So we get it. It was a good flight. I'm glad, once you get down there, boy, the flights these days are rough on me. Those seats are so tough. But anyways, we got down there, we get our bags, and we're waiting for our lift ride. And Margita's like pointing down at the sky. We're in Orlando waiting for our lift outside of the baggage claim. He's got shorts on. Of course, it's warm. Matter of fact, when we left, it was really cold in Connecticut. It was like 40 degrees. Look down, this guy's got one flip-flop and one barefoot. And so what time is it now? I mean, it's like 8:00, 8:30, 9:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's staggering a little bit. Now, I don't know. Hey, I don't want to judge, but when you got one flip-flop on and one flip off, and he's acting a little bit erratic, and his ride pulls up, it's like a Mercedes-Benz.
Of course it is.
I'm like, here we are. We're in Florida. We got to chuckle out of that.
I want to party with that guy.
I don't know what he was up to at 8:00 in the morning, but they were happy to see him, and he was on his way. That was our start of our trip.
Back to Universal. What made you pick? You guys went to Universal first before you went to Disney, right? Was it planned that way, or did it just happen that way, or did you guys plan it that way?
Planning's always a fluent thing with us geeks and crushers, right? So, but no, I think we might have cut. Margita was looking at the cost too a little bit. Being the travel advisor, she had some good discounts. That was another motivator for her to try this out. And the resort we picked was kind of the mid-range, the Stella Nova Resort. And it's nice, quick ride from the airport, as you would imagine. Gorgeous resort. It's kind of stunning. There's two of them. they're like brother, sister from across the street of these two. But the facade is these, they're not bricks, but they're all like really shiny space looking. It's very tiled and very cool looking and modern looking. And of course, beautiful getting in there. The staff was excellent. Margita took like an hour checking in. I was like pulling my hair because we were heading right on over to Universal from there, which is going to be a bus ride over to Universal. It's closer logistically to Epic. It's walking distance to Epic. So it's a good spot. And, brand spanking new, the carpet and everything when we finally got our room and all that. The thing that was kind of a little bit off-putting was just the terrain is pretty raw right now. The hotel and there's like highways and stuff.
I saw when you were walking. I saw your live when you were over there, and it did look desolate. But the walk looked like there weren't a lot of cars and stuff. It was.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I recorded that live recording is let people see what it's like in the short walk. It's not too bad of a walk over to Epic, but yeah. But I mean, it was perfect for us. It was great.
Yeah, the building is. I don't, like you said, it's hard to describe it. I don't know if you can describe it like futuristic, but the tiles were that kind of mirrored, colored look to them. They do that a lot in pools. And it was very stunning. And the windows were kind of rounded edges instead of square. The landscaping, like you said, maybe this hasn't matured yet, but that was one thing I think that you mentioned on your walk was that you just can't beat Disney's. Yeah, it's been around for a long time, of course, so they've had years and years of growth, but they bring in plants and trees and they're known for that. But the landscaping is just bar none for Disney. It's just one of the most incredible things Disney does is their landscaping.
Yeah, and I was just thinking of this, Dave, trying to it's not even fair to compare the Disney resort experience to the Universal resort. It's like a hotel stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Whereas, I'll tell you, we stayed at Port Orleans for the second half of the trip. And this was a choice by Margita. She always wanted to stay at the mansions at Riverside. We stayed there years ago, pretty early on in our Disney travels with the kids when they were young. My funniest experience with that was Margita getting lost in that property. So
it's big.
It was when we didn't know what Disney resorts were like. It might have been the first like moderate we went to because we did the Polynesian, like it was our first real Disney resort on our like third trip. So that might have been like our fourth trip that we did to Riverside, Port Orleans. So it was quite a while ago, but boy, the mansions, that is gorgeous. That property is stunning, especially the mansions. It looks like you're in this mansion kind of place. I mean, it's almost like it's scoped down, but the buildings are really impressive. And of course you've got the little river going through there and the walkway to the French Quarter. Like you said, Dave, I mean, you can't compare the landscaping to what Disney provides for the resorts, and all of them are very much like that. But I was really impressed with more than I thought I would with Port Orleans Riverside.
Yeah, that's a big favorite with a lot of people, especially going over to the French Quarter. I know Deirdre mentioned something about a walk from Royal Pacific to Universal and the islands is a really beautiful walk. So, I mean, I guess there's some, in any place, there's going to be some beautiful spots. But to me, Universal just seems like it's just a whole lot more concrete everywhere.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to, that's where they fell. I'll tell you the thing, again, to staying with the comparison, and we'll get into this in the parks too, I noticed the freestyle drink machines. And I'm sure this is something Glenn and Rebecca talked about. And they had this mug, but I'm really into glassware.
Right. You like collecting cups and sippers and glasses.
I'm bad.
Oh, is this the $50 mug?
Yes, the $50 mug. This isn't the one. It's like in this style that I'm showing you, my company mug, but it's very similar to this. But I always liked, even when Disney World remember they did the little Star Wars one? I used that I thought that was the greatest thing because that was something that was really practical. It was one of the first mugs I had that kept your cold and your hot. So when I saw $50, I balked on it the first day at Epic. But then I'm saying, I just want another one Not that I need it, but I want to change. And on this trip, that was going to be kind of my souvenir. So I said to Mark, I started working on her. I said, you know what? I'm going to go over to Disney. I'm going to buy, I want something just like big like this. It's 24 ounces. I want the hot, cold kind of thing. And then I said, you know, that's probably gonna be $40. I know I'll have a discount probably with my annual pass and DVC or whatever. But so I worked on her and I ended up getting it when we were in the park. And you know what? The other thing they do with the freestyle machines that I sold her on too, I said, you know what? You can just get free water. I saw someone go up. I think she was in the bathroom. And I went up and I saw someone getting water for free. I got that. And we ended up drinking. She was really feeling, what was with the Dramamine or something. She wanted a Coke. And, you know, now I had the freestyle machines and they have them everywhere in the park. And then I wasn't sure, there was a miscommunication of, could I use that in the resort? With that big $50 one, I was able to. So I don't know if there's a difference. I think there's a cheaper one that might not be. I don't know. But those freestyle machines are quite awesome. And I think that's still a good deal, especially when it's hot.
I wish Disney would do that.
Yeah, there's one thing that, exactly. You need the water when you're in the parks.
We were just there recently and we were drinking a lot of water. Disney's great about giving free waters out and we took advantage of it.
Curt, so your listeners are really into food. So tell me a little bit about the food you had at Universal. What were the highlights and lowlights maybe?
Yeah, I am really impressed. Again, I'm going to give Glenn and Rebecca a shout out. And they told me, Epic Universe, they were really impressed that Disney had to up their game. And one of the areas is the way they do their food. And I really got to understand what he was talking about. And I'm really thinking of, well, they had the same, I should say that even, I think they're trying to get this going on because I was with Rob. Rob came and visited us, Rob Madiri, the second day we were in Universal and we tried it there too. So you go to your table, they have a QR code, you scan it and you order your food. One was really fast. Like I was like, holy cow, this might not be very good because it's came so fast, but we did that in Epic. But first, I mean, just that service and that the thing that's really impressive about that. Now, of course, you have quick service at Disney where you can mobile order, but these are all like sit down restaurants where you're sitting down and the quality is up there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
cool. Yeah.
Like
when you're at Disney, you still have to go up there and carry the tray and get everything. And I see how the benefit of that, especially for me, because sometimes when I'm there alone with Michael, I can't leave him alone. And I can't find a table, leave him there. And what I wind up doing is being one of those people walking around with a tray and no place to sit. It's happened to me many times. Regal Eagle is bad like that. And I've talked about Casey's Corner being like that too, where it's really hard to find a table if you're one of those people that can't have your family go ahead and find one for you. Or if you're a solo traveler. So that really excites me. The idea of sitting down, ordering and having them bring the food to the table. That's awesome.
Yeah. The one bad one, it wasn't really bad, but Margita even said to me when she wanted to go to Mythos.
It's supposed to be one of their top restaurants, right?
Well, the sign outside, and she was, it's the best theme park restaurant in the world.
Okay.
Well, I say that we're the top Disney podcast all the time, according to me.
I know. I probably went in there with a little bit of cynicism then. Of that. I was actually kind of buying the line.
Curt, do you know what the second busiest restaurant in the world is?
The second
busiest restaurant in the world.
I think it's the Mythos.
Cosmic Rays. It's Cosmic Rays.
Cosmic Rays. Okay. I was thinking, what's the rank? There was some ranking for the Boathouse.
Yeah, that's one. That is. I saw that too. It's a very busy restaurant in the world, but this is, I guess, quick service type thing.
Yeah, right.
And it's Cosmic Rays. Yep.
That doesn't surprise me.
Nope.
So anyways, Mythos, we went there and the server was absolutely fantastic. Almost a little bit too much. Like I couldn't get rid of her. She kept coming back and very bubbly and helpful. But I had the kebab meal. Couscous had like a steak kebab, but the beef was dry and tough. If you're the best, you know, you guys might know me from my food reviews. I'm not that picky. I'm pretty impressed with a lot of stuff. I'm very rarely do I have a bad experience food wise, but that beef was not on par at a Disney World. Margita had a huge burger, and I think hers was fine. Again, the same kind of thing. The ordering was. She might have taken. Actually, I take that back. I think she might have taken our order for that one. The one we did with Rob was it was in the Grinch. It was in the Grinch area, I think. But that was, I think both Rob and I had a steak. That was really good. We did the Meteor Astro pub dinner too. That's in Epic too. It was right outside of Stardust Racers. We sat outside. I had a bacon cheeseburger. Margita had chicken and waffles. Again, that was the one that came really fast. It was perfect. Really fast, really convenient.
Do you find the prices like on par with Disney? I found when I went to Universal, but this was a while back, the food seemed to be a little more expensive to me, but I don't know.
I don't, you know what? That's a good question. I actually felt like it was good quality at a decent price too. I think I like that burger. I think on the menu it was like $17 under $20.
Okay. Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like you got that nice pub dinner, lunch or whatever, and it was pretty reasonable.
What did you think about Epic? What did you think about the rides at Epic? And I know that you have you talk about having the motion sickness, and I know Universal is screen heavy. So
for sure, I knew that from years ago. That was my experience even back 20 plus years ago. That was the more intense rides. Why some people really like Universal even. It is epic. Hate to be redundant, but I'll tell you the thing to me that's really impressive about it. If you took like the Star Wars land, think of that in Disney World. How they kind of hide it and you really get immersive when you walk into that world. Take that and make, what is it, 5 or 6 portals they call them?
Yeah.
At Epic, right? So you have the hub and you have those portals that are all those immersive worlds all the way. All of those are like that.
Right. You walk through and you're in this land.
You're in this land and the walls are, I'm going to call them walls for lack of thing. They're not walls. They're rocks or they're buildings. Whether you're in the Harry Potter version or the monsters, the one with the Train Your Dragon. That was the first one we went into, Isla Burke.
Isn't that where you got in touch with your ancestry, your Viking ancestry?
That's right. So I got that from Ancestry.com, where I got the official word from my DNA. But Margita has learned that I have this Dupuytren's contracture from saying it right. I have a crooked finger.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so funny because I got home and there's a commercial for some kind of medication.
Yeah.
Don't get surgery. Take this for your Viking finger. And it's a whole Viking theme thing.
Right.
When we walked in there, we were joking. Oh, I'm back home. I'm in my Viking world. Because it is so immersive. And you'll hear people say that all the time. And it seems like they spared no expense.
Yeah, I think that was one of Margita's favorite places, wasn't it? Isla Burke?
Yeah, and I think, the few people I've talked to, they're surprised that this one is their favorite. Whether I think they're really impressed with Toothless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when you had Deirdre and Samantha on your show, they said they really didn't know the How to Train Your Dragon movies, and yet they loved it.
Yeah, it's really that was the first line I went in. But every portal that you walk, you take the Nintendo World one. That one Yeah, the one bad thing, there's a lot of stairs.
Yeah, that's what Glenn and Rebecca said.
Impressive amount of stairs. I'm like, why do you gotta go upstairs to go on the train to go in between? It seemed like, and that's what I was thinking about with Nintendo. You go upstairs, and then there's an upstairs and a downstairs to that land. I mean, they do have an elevator there, which I think we finally decided. Hey, I'm learning. There's a lot of stairs in this place. I think I'm gonna take the elevator.
Do you think they do that on purpose? Kind of like Disney doesn't put a lot of benches out, so they put stairs to slow you down a little bit and make you kind of just take your time and stay in the park longer? I don't know.
There's some evil reason why they're doing this.
There's got to be something going on, right?
It's obnoxious, the stairs.
Got to look into this. Conspiracy theory.
I know. I wonder what the design reason was for all the stairs. Even when you're going in attractions, it's like you're always going stairs. And then you got the rides that are just modern. They're all modern ride systems. So to answer your question about my motion sickness, I didn't even think about it too much. I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to do what I can. And then Margita, I'll just ask Margita, is this one a really bad one? She usually knows. I went into it like knowing pretty much nothing except for a couple of people I've interviewed. And she didn't know anything. I said to her, give me some of them pills. Let's do that boning and give me 2 of them. She took 1 that morning. I chewed down 2 of them and I said, all right, I'm going for it. I pretty much didn't miss anything. And I was really impressed. I learned that the 2 boning, I mean, the problem with the boning for me is I start to fade away, dozing.
Makes you drowsy, yeah.
I get drowsy and I don't like that. So a lot of times at Disney, I don't need to do some of the spinning rides if I'm going to pay the price of being drowsy. But I did it for Epic. And I think, even the second thing when we were Rob, I knew Rob was coming. I was like, he's going to want to go on the rides. I'm going to go on the rides. And I forgot that I took it. And then on the way going over there, I said, Margita, did I take the boning? I don't even remember if I ate she goes, I gave you 2. I said, I don't know. I took another one. Yeah, they're intense. I think even my daughter had been on the Harry Potter, one of the Harry Potter ones that's really intense. And I'm sorry, I don't know the names of all the rides because I need to go again, guys. You're so blown away by everything that's going on.
Well, I know you mentioned, Curt, you really, really liked Monsters.
Yes, you just read my mind. Even like Deirdre and Sam said that they were really excited to do Monsters. And I am too, because that's my generation. I remember watching Creature Feature 11 o'clock. My parents didn't know I had my TV on in black and white. And you watch those old movies and Frankenstein's and the Creature of the Black Lagoon and all that stuff. So I try not to get too excited about it because they had kind of toned me down a little bit. But I didn't know about the ride. And thank God I had my boning because it's intense. But I think everyone is saying it's the same ride system as one of the Harry Potter. It's the Gringotts one, I think. No, is it? Maybe. I think that's the one. Don't quote me on that. Well, but you're in this thing, you kind of put your face back and they're ramming you into the scene and then they turn you around and they ram you into another scene.
Oh my gosh.
And it's either screens or I don't know. I'd have to see it again to figure out what's what. I mean,
there's animatronics, and I only know that because I recently saw a video of with the lights on.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of screens and animatronics.
Yeah, well, the animatronics are amazing, and they're big. They seem so big.
That's right. Yeah, I think it is that combination that's pretty cool. And the ride system is really neat, and it's intense. Definitely if you have motion sickness. But the thing is, Universal and Epic, every sign says it's motion sickness. So my beef with them is their intensity level is not accurate at all. They say everything is motion sickness, and it's not at the same level. So I knew I couldn't trust that, and thank God for boning. And I was high-fiving myself. Like I did a lot.
Cool.
I didn't hit everything, but I did. I wasn't held back. So
good.
No, which ride took your back out? Donkey Kong?
Did I say I took my back out? I don't remember saying that. No, I don't have. Luckily, I don't have. If I were to say, even remember some of these rides, even at Disney, we rode Big Thunder Mountain, and it was very smooth, by the way.
Cool.
But
do you still crush the person next to you, like on the turn?
Yeah, I think that's still, that's pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a little, like, when you're going up a hill and it goes crank.
Yeah.
Did one of those on me. But other than that, no, I survived with no back problems.
Any must-try snacks at Universal?
Ooh. Well, I know it. I'll tell a little story. I don't know that we hit any really great snacks at Universal, but I know Margita was intent on getting a frozen Coke that first day. Her first day after traveling, getting up at 1:30 in the morning, I'm always skeptical she's going to make it. And I think around 3:00, she goes, "Let's get a frozen Coke." And we were in the Simpsons land. There's like a little bar there. A lot of that first day for me was very familiar. It was 20 some years ago. I mean, there were some basic things you can see were different. Like Harry Potter, obviously, not a lot of change there. It's very inconspicuous, Harry Potter land, really. And anyways, but this land, the Simpsons, has changed. Like we rode Men in Black. She wanted to do that. She was wondering if E.T. was still there, and it still was there. And the Animal Show was still there.
Oh, cool.
From years ago, which I always loved. I always wish Disney would have that kind of theme where they had dogs and cats and trained animals like they did at Universal. And so that was still there. Anyways, we come out of the Animal Show, and we went to there's a bar there. And the guy was really helpful. He's like, "Oh, he's very friendly," and say, "Yeah, we just want to get 2 frozen Cokes, and we pay for it." And he turns around and he goes, "Oh, the machine's not working." And Margita's like dying. She's like, "I need caffeine." And she waited. They had to bring the manager. I went over, which I don't really like those icy ones. The ones that are like icy. I like the Disney ones that are real plushies.
Mm-hmm.
You know the difference.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was all right. But she waited like 20 minutes or more for the manager to get her money back.
Oh, no.
And then we ended up getting one down farther near Men of Black. But I was like, wow, that was the guy couldn't return her money. Yeah, I don't think we had, Toni-Ann, any
nothing stood out. Okay.
Nothing stood out there. We didn't even do like the butterbeer. We never even got a chance to do that.
Oh.
Well, we're talking about maybe going back in September. Judy and Ken, I guess, and Judy really want to do Epic.
Okay.
I would really want to stay at the hotel right there in the middle.
Oh, Helios,
right. We did walk in there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool too. I mean, to have the resort and the hotel built right into the park.
Right.
So you can see. And yeah, we're hoping to do just Epic next time.
Well, they got to take after Disneyland because that, you can stay right there on property and walk right into the park too in Disneyland.
Yeah. So are you sad that I really liked Epic?
No, not at all. It's making me want to go because I know that years ago when I went, I loved it. And that was many, many, many years ago.
We did the Mummy too, which has been there a long time. I think that was the first ride that I tested my boning. We really enjoyed that. I just missed that. I think I was there in like 2008 for a conference.
Uh-huh.
And I think Margie and I weren't able to ride it, so we were excited to ride that. But yeah, I'll tell you that I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but you got to be impressed. I mean, it's just incredible. Again, just the immersiveness, but I like how inconspicuous. I didn't even know the Harry Potter land was in Universal Studios until after we went there with Rob and came in we came in from the Islands of Adventure on the train, then walked out of it. So from the opposite way, I went,
right.
Wow. And Margita understands because of the books and the movies why it's set up that way. But how does anyone even know it's there unless someone told you? Because it's like a brick wall with an opening.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's as impressive as people have been saying.
Did you get the Harry Potter ride in?
Yeah, I think we did. Well, we didn't do the Hagrid's motorbike one, but we did do the Gringotts and the Ministry. I did that one with Rob, the Ministry one. Just Rob and I did it. Yeah, they're, again, they're as good as the Epic rides, even if it's a Universal. They learned their lesson building Harry Potter's. Now I think about it, and they took that and they built Epic for all of their lands.
Okay. So they're giving Disney a run for their money?
You know what I was thinking, guys? If you think when they built, like I said, Star Wars, they did it pretty good, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But not with Toy Story Land.
No, Toy Story Land was not well
Right.
designed.
Right? If Toy Story Land was built like they built Nintendo, for instance, at Epic, it'd be much more impressive. So that's the challenge Disney has now.
I think Monstropolis is going to be really cool, and we'll see. Villains Land, and
That's a great point. They have a perfect opportunity, and like I said, they did it with Star Wars
And Pandora.
oh yeah, Pandora. Pandora was the first one I think that they hit the nail on the head.
And it's not that they don't. When you're in a land, even at Disney World, I mean, you're in that land, but not to the level that these are with, the forced perspectives and those kinds of things that they're doing with these builds that they're doing now. They got to be more expensive.
I dare say it, but it's on almost on another level what they're doing over there.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey,
Yeah. No, but like what you're saying, like you walk into Fantasyland, you don't feel like you're in another place. Whereas when you walk into Galaxy's Edge or, like you said, the Ministry area, all that, you feel like you're actually in the movie.
Yeah, if you think about it, right, like you're in the movie. That's a great way to say it. Because you could, if you did like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and did a land about Seven Dwarfs, right? You'd have to recreate that forest kind of scenes everywhere so that you don't know that you're almost like you're in a soundstage.
Yeah.
Right? Movie soundstage.
Very
Walt
cool.
Disney would be proud of them. And he'd be killing his people.
Taking some notes, huh?
To get it done. He'd be embarrassed. That was the thing. Walt Disney would be embarrassed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
But from what I understand, Josh D'Amaro has, he's visited Epic, and from what I heard, he told the people building Villains Land they need to up their game. He wasn't impressed by what they had so far. He was like, "You need to do better." So
that's what Walt did, right?
Yep.
And what Walt had it all in his head. Now they got a real competitor with Epic.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Then you left Universal and you went to Disney. Did you feel like you were at home? Did you?
Oh yeah, that's a great analogy. Going from a foreign country
And coming home.
And again, I talked about Port Orleans Riverside. I'm really impressed with that resort. And I've stayed at French Quarter not that long ago, which I've always been impressed with. But the larger, of course, Riverside is, and specifically the mansions. And we had a room that was walkable 10 minutes to French Quarter. That was a great, I would recommend get the mansions and then get the experience of both Riverside and French Quarter for even for a meal, your beignets, of course, that kind of thing. And
right.
Yeah, we got there and this guy was new. We just had like sodas and water. Our luggage and stuff, we didn't carry a lot of stuff. We're not like Samantha with 18 bags. But I got a cart, I think. The woman there was like leaving us stranded. I was like, can you give me a hand here? We're going to go to the park. And she kind of left us on our own. She said, oh, they'll help you over there. I was like, okay. But we ended up getting a guy with a golf cart and they rode us over. And he was
nice.
2 weeks on the job. He was talking. He was a good guy. He was talking. He was telling his whole life story. And he says, well, again, these resorts are big. How do you get around? Well, how do we get back to the lobby? I'd even forgotten. And he said, well, go to the left here and then go over the bridge. And then, you're good. And then after we put our stuff away, I'm going, that's not right. I could see the lobby. Like, I think we're going to go over that bridge on the right, not go to the left. And Margita's like, you sure he told us? Trust me. I don't know what he's talking about, but that's going to the French Quarter. And I thought, what the heck? And after we did it, I was like, what the heck was he thinking? Anyways, I don't know.
He was new, like you said. He'd only been on a job a few weeks. Maybe he still was confused himself.
I think he'd even, I hope he got back to the lobby.
I think you know Disney better than the employees.
Well, there's a lesson to learn, everybody. Trust the cast members, but verify.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't always know what they're saying.
So did you get to do any of those? Because you had been talking on your show about doing the 40% off meal. Did you get to do that at any? Because annual pass holders this summer, if you don't know, at select restaurants get 40% off at certain meals. Like some restaurants, it's just breakfast. Some restaurants, it's just lunch. Some restaurants, it's just dinner. So you have to look at the fine print.
Yes, and we knew that, and we booked. We didn't want to do a lot of big meals. We're both losing weight. We don't have the appetite we used to have. And so we went to Magic Kingdom. We had a good rest and everything. We got over there pretty quick the first day. But we had one of those meals booked at Coral Reef and Epcot, which we did before on that deal. And I said to Margita, I think logistically, that is not a good idea. And we switched it to Crystal Palace. Now, she had Crystal Palace booked for Thursday of the week. And this was, I think, Monday. So we started switching things around.
That's what happened.
On the fly. It ended up being 20% off at Crystal Palace.
Okay.
And but Crystal Palace, we liked it. Again,
Which meal was this?
This was on Monday.
No, which meal? Like breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Or it was dinner. I don't know. We were there early. We were
early dinner.
Early dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like
late lunch or early dinner.
We ended up getting 3:45. I think we were going to call that day early anyway.
Okay.
The travel day from Universal to Disney World. But yeah, I mean, I love buffets. Although, again, I don't eat as much as I used to. But still, I like the idea of the variety. I can have a salad. They had bean salads, and I like them at Crystal Palace. I know I'm going to get a carved meat and like that. And there was some good stuff. The characters, of course, they're classic, great characters with Pooh and Tigger and all that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, when I got the bill, boy, even with 20% off.
Price Fix meals are up there at Disney.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that was one of the meals. The only other one we did was Nine Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's Toni-Ann's favorite.
It's not my favorite, but I think it's underrated.
Yeah, it was one of my recent guests said they really loved it. But I really wanted to, I love the music and the Garden Rocks. And so I wanted to do the package with the concert ticket and the meal.
So who'd you say?
So that was the Spinners.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, the lady kept coming back with the bill going, you realize, it's this price. Because she first didn't understand that we had the dinner
package.
Because I think we would have gotten like 20% off because of our annual pass.
Right.
And then, but the tickets throw on like another $60.
Right.
Whatever. We didn't, so you can't do both. But we ended up getting like second row. I've always said about the concerts, there are some artists I'd rather see than others because like they'll be playing the music and showing who's going to be there. I was like, I'd like to see that band or whatever. But they played all their hits that you would know. And they're like, like a Motown kind of, even though they were like in the 90s, weren't they? Or 80s? Margita said they were in the 70s. I don't know. She just kept saying the Rubber Band Man. They're going to play the Rubber Band Man.
Yeah, that was the 70s, I think.
And they were real crowd pleasers. They were getting the crowd going. It was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we did it. But the Nine Dragons lunch, the servers, I love the international servers. She was great. She reminded me of my mother-in-law. Because she looks like Mama. She acted like her a little bit too. So that was really cute. And then I had the stir fry with beef and chicken, lo mein, rice. Margita had a honey chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so I know people always say, "Oh, I get better Chinese at home." Well, whatever. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like Chinese food, so I'm not always very adventurous, but I still enjoyed that.
So just so you know, the Spinners were formed in 1954 and had hit singles in the 60s and 70s. So I doubt the original Spinners are the same Spinners that you saw.
Well, that I was quite certain of, yeah. It's a franchise now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of franchises, you saw one of my favorite local bands. You saw the Flyboys one during the week.
Yeah.
And they are also the M80s, the Hooligans, the Spasmatics. Their Command Performance over in England. It's the same band. So that's why you like them, because they were you like Command Performance, and they're the same band that plays in England.
You're so smart, Tony.
The UK Pavilion.
I know why you bring her on this podcast, Dave.
Hey, I know how to pick them, man. Come on now. I'm just an engineer and editor, so you know.
I understand. She's smart. She listens to my podcast. I know. I think Command Performance is probably one of the best bands they've ever had at Epcot.
Yeah, that band is also other bands and the ones you saw.
Yeah, before I can remember years ago seeing one of the guitar players from Off Kilter. Mm-hmm. I was at a conference over at Universal, matter of fact, and he was one of the band. He was the guitar player in the band, and they had a different name.
The guy that played the fiddle in Off Kilter is the guy from Jason and Billy and Jason that used to be at Port Orleans Riverside, French Quarter.
So I looked up their name. I saw who it was. I kind of Googled who they were, and it's just a local Orlando band. But when I sat down to watch, I go, that lead guy is in Command Performance. Mm-hmm. I am pretty certain because he's quite dynamic and he's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't recognize the other players from Command Performance.
I think they have people they switch in and out, but
for sure. They've always done that. Even like when they had the Beatles kind of bands.
Yeah.
They did that. But yeah, I was really, 90s rock music.
Right.
I'd rather have 70s.
Yeah.
You
should go see when they're the M80s. I love the M80s. They do all 80s music.
They were fantastic. Again, here's the thing. I don't know if I said it. I'll say it plainly. I love going to the shows when they have them at Epcot for the festivals, because even if I don't know the artist, maybe I know they're a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
But there's always something I take away from that show that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always walk away going, I really enjoyed that performance, or that singer, or what's the shopping mall singer?
Tiffany.
I saw Tiffany. I'm like,
so did me and Dave. We love Tiffany.
Oh, she's great.
Well, I love Tiffany. Dave did not love Tiffany, but I loved her.
Hey.
Not my genre, but seeing her getting out there and perform, I wasn't surprised that she could sing, and I love performers that can sing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love music. I love a little bit of outdoor atmosphere, have a drink, and I love that. So thank you for talking about all that. So I did some of the food stuff.
Oh, for the flower and garden?
Oh, and I want to tell you, Toni-Ann, you gave me a recommendation that I was not able to get the first time you told me about it, which was in Magic Kingdom. The cinnamon bun with all the caramel and
the bacon.
It's, I tell people know this that are Disney people. Disney, and even, I'll say Universal maybe learned this from Disney, because they had these donuts, Simpsons Land, which were huge. But that is over the top. Like Ken Ludwig he's disgusted by it, just looking at it. All the caramel and sweets on it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, I can't believe you can eat that. And I had Kayleen Stuns record with her this week, and she said it without me even saying it, because I was going to bring it on my podcast when I did my trip report. But I had the cinnamon bun at the Norwegian bakery, and I'm looking in the case. I swear I've never seen this thing before. Icing on top of that thing is like 4 inches high. It's just like gobbed on there. I'm like, I'm all about that, Margita. Order me one of those. You get what you want. I'll get a Viking coffee. I'm good. The cinnamon bun part, I ran out of that before I ran out of icing. And that's saying something for me. I was dabbing it up. So that was a good cinnamon bun. But the festival foods, I had the seafood boil.
Mm. Now you're talking.
I was starving. I think some of the booths that you're walking that are kind of off the World Showcase direct path, I don't think that. Tell me if you think this is right, but I don't think those lines are nearly as bad.
No, they're not. Did you get the seafood boil at the beach club and the beach grub and yacht grub?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's in between like Figment in like Canada, that walkway there. So I got that, and I got the street corn there too, which I liked. Yeah, that was with that, and then I went right over to Canada, and I got the beef tips.
Were they tender?
Yeah, that was that. I was like, hey. See, these are tender, and the ones over at the best restaurant in any
the best theme park restaurant in the world.
couldn't beat the Canadian food booth. That was good. Oh, we did. We went back to Epcot on a different day, and this was right before the Chinese restaurant. I was still starving. This is the one where the Communicore Hall is. That stop right there. They had a fish slider. It was good. Yeah, it was like a blackened fish slider. I told her, give me the fillet of fish. I think she laughed. I think she did laugh.
Yeah.
I ordered the fillet of fish.
Cool.
But that it hit the spot. I got to tell you another snack that really impressed me. Again, my wife is the knowledgeable one of our Disney experience. She spends a lot of time looking on websites, Facebook, whatever. And so I recommend this to everyone. I want everyone to try this. Maybe you know or don't know. I thought it was something that a lot of people would know. But if you go into the Japan Pavilion, and back where the sake is, get in line there. At the counter, they have this little tabletop thing where you could read what flavors they had. And they had I know they had a strawberry, vanilla, and a couple of strange ones. Green tea, but I don't know what it was. They had like 4 different flavors, but they're in a package. You get a Mickey bar package kind of package like that. But they're waffle ice creams.
Cool.
If you think of
I think I've seen them on Instagram.
Maybe you probably have. You're very knowledgeable of stuff. But the rest of you that don't know, I was really impressed with that.
Cool.
It's just, you open it up and it's 2 pieces and then it has a chocolate lining inside. So I got the vanilla.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's got a little thin chocolate line.
Cool.
But with the waffle and the ice cream, I was like, brilliant. Good on the Japanese for.
They have a lot of good snacks.
I know. Explore the snacks. Japanese.
You could also get freeze dried shrimp and crabs.
Well, good to know.
Yeah. You had mentioned in your notes that you guys used Lightning Lane this trip, and that you guys was it Weight Magic that you used? You said that Margita had some newfangled program. Was it Weight Magic? Because we Glenn and I did a deep dive into Weight Magic, episode 440 of the Disney Crush podcast. So it was like 5 weeks ago. If anybody's interested in Weight Magic, but I used it in April and I was really impressed. So you guys were impressed too? Yes.
Margita especially.
Mm-hmm.
An example of that, I think she couldn't get Remy's. Remy's was all sold out, but it somehow got us a Remy's. Now, the bad news is it was down.
Oh.
So we had a Lightning Lane for Remy's, but it was down. And then we did get a, return.
Return anytime.
But we never, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for us, but that was very impressive just for the app. And the way she explained it to me, it's a website, not necessarily.
Yeah, it is a website, but you can make like a shortcut on your phone that goes right to it. So it's like you could use it like an app. But I told Glenn when we did the show on it that it is easier to set up initially on your computer, but then when you're in the parks, you could use it's not that difficult to use.
I feel like it was non-touch. It was doing things for her.
Yeah.
She was running that side of things, and she loves the rides. I mean, let's be Mr. Obvious.
Yes.
You got to get a lightning lane for like Magic Kingdom
Yeah.
if you really want to hit the rides hard, at least one day.
Yeah.
I think that strategy worked for us where we had that first day we didn't have any lightning lanes when we arrived from studios, which was fine, right? You could do all the things that you don't really need a lightning lane.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that you can do with the shows and so on and so forth. So you get like half the park done in that one day. You got to have 2 days. And then second day with the lightning lane, man, just hit everything else that you want to hit.
We were able to do everything in April, every single ride that we wanted to ride. I mean, we didn't do the cars, the Tomorrowland Speedway, but we didn't want to. But we could have.
Right. Exactly. I mean, we could have gone harder and hit I mean, we rode Dumbo, but we did some things that we don't normally do. Like, because we had it, we're going to ride Dumbo.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
why not?
Right. And we were starting to think of, what's it going to be like when we bring my little grandson Johnny down?
Yeah.
You know, we're like thinking about how that trip would be. Yeah, it was. That is a great strategy. So if you take the light, and I don't think a lot of people are paying for the
lightning lanes.
I mean, we were walking on stuff.
Yeah, it's really cost prohibitive for a lot of people. I went for 3 days with my stepdaughters, and it was like $500.
Yeah,
for us.
Yeah,
that's with like the individual ones because we got Guardians and
same thing at Universal. Same thing at Epic. We walked by everybody. It seemed like I was like feeling guilty. I was like, "Holy cow, this line is huge!" And we were walking by. So we had it for their version.
But actually, isn't that more expensive than Lightning? I mean, I think so. That's even more expensive.
I think so. But yeah, Margita, I mean, she still was like near the end. She was like, "Are you sure we still want to do Epic?"
I know a friend of ours, Scott Daves, is a cast member, and I heard that you got to go on the cast member. He was able to get a cast member preview for Soarin'. You want to tell us about Soarin'?
Great job, Dave. I'm glad. See, we keep Dave around for something.
Well, they went the next day to ride the Muppets.
I know. I hate him. I'm very jealous of that. I knew you got that. Yeah, I was so glad, Scott. I mean, it was great to hang around with Scott and Karen. Obviously, we went over to the DVC lounge and spent about an hour over there drinking our freestyle drinks. And then we did the concert. Yeah, so that day that was like the best day. That is like my life day. A day at Epcot. I mean, it's great just being with Margita. You know what? Can you guys believe Margita and I have never been alone on a trip?
That's wonderful that you got to do this trip together.
Ever. I mean, I remember a few trips ago we were alone. I think
for a couple days, right?
Yeah, I think
because Ken and Judy went on a cruise, I think, or something.
That's right. Yeah, they went on a cruise, so they left us. So I looked at her one day and I went, "You realize we've never been alone doing the parks? We can do whatever we want."
That's right.
Well, it coincided with your 37th anniversary too, right?
Yeah. This was our anniversary trip, I guess. Oh, the truth be told, we had free airfare. That's why we went on this trip. And Southwest changed their policy.
Right.
It expires. So it's going to expire by the end of May. But to get back to Dave. So I was so excited to see Karen and Scott. That was awesome. Love seeing my friends in the parks. And I see Dave and Veronica. I was so glad to see her before we recorded because you guys are so much fun. I love seeing you guys. And thank you for hanging out with us when we're down there.
Oh, it's always a blast. Yeah.
We're all kind of, we got similar age.
Yeah.
Personalities.
Yeah.
We get along.
Right. Yeah.
We have fun. So I missed that part. But anyways, so it was really nice to see them. And I'm glad I do a podcast, and Scott knew that I do a podcast and thought I might enjoy doing. Soarin's one of my favorite attractions of all time.
Well, what do you think about the new overlay?
I'll tell you, when it first, I'm not going to give it away, right? Nobody's probably been on it yet.
No, it opens Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, they're just starting to do like pass holder previews. I saw somebody.
It was just 2 days that they're over already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no spoilers, but was anything crooked on it? Was anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did. So we wrote it 3 times.
Oh, cool.
So we were
So
supposed
you
to have,
noticed more things probably each time.
yeah, and we're in different positions each time. That never bothers me. Everyone talks about that, Dave. I don't know. It doesn't really bother. I mean, you don't have the Eiffel Tower. So,
Mhm.
and the Eiffel Tower is the one where you really notice the problem.
Right.
So because they don't have that, probably makes it a little harder to mess it up depending where you're sitting. But we were supposed to have between 7 and 8, and we didn't know could we go multiple times.
Mhm.
Anyways, we go in. We got there early. We got there like 20 up, and they let us right in. There was a gasp when that first opening.
Really?
Just say that.
Wow.
We were like, and the way that you come into it just was better. They don't have the transitions like in the current version where they have an eagle come through, or
Right. The elephant throws dust in your face.
they might have a little bit of that, but still the transitions are. And I was worried about the music, and it's still. I wonder what my daughter would think. I always love her perspective on things. It's still kind of the style of the music we're used to. I think I wasn't that astute to tell you. It didn't distract from it. It still it still was good. But it's America. I love America.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Look, did you see my shirt?
Aw.
I got a new Mickey Mouse America shirt.
Liberty, freedom, and Mickey Mouse.
The celebration is for the 250th year. So I think you'll see some of that in the parks. And that's what
Cool.
that's what it's for. So yeah, the scenes are great. I mean, we walked out saying, the worst thing about that, we're trying to criticize it, I think was it felt too short.
Oh, okay.
Because we're like, they could have done this, or
They could have added that or this, right?
They could have had this scene from this part of the country, but again, I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
But it was.
Well, I'm excited to see it.
We were very impressed. We were very excited about it. I think Scott and Karen would say the same thing. Thank you, Scott and Karen, Mickey File Podcast, for inviting Margita and I. We had a great time.
Yeah, that's the thing about like Rock and Roller Coaster. We got to do it with them, the cast preview for that, and Rock and Roller Coaster is just still Rock and Roller Coaster. So, but you have the pre-show and you have them in the recording room, so all that's different. Soarin', I think I'm excited to see Soarin', because that's just a whole show, a whole new show.
That's right. We always said that's a great advantage of it. You just got to do a new movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the smells. There was one that was kind of similar. We were talking to a cast member after, and she was explaining the smells to me and where they were. But the other thing we did too was the new Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I did that on my last trip.
Okay, yeah, very happy with that. I mean, I thought it was refreshed nicely.
Yeah, the new shooting, I guess pistols are easier.
Yeah,
to
and
maneuver.
when you hit something, it lights up
Right.
green or red, I think, depending which gun you're using. And I'm so glad I beat Margita 2 out of 3 of the shooting games between the one over at Universal, the Men in Black, and Hollywood Studios. I beat her there. And then the Big Thunder Mountain, that was down twice.
Oh.
In our day. We were thinking we're not going to be able to get on this. Because first time we went there, it was down. It came back up. We walked across the park again, and it was down already. It came up and it went down again, like so fast. But we finally did get on it. Definitely smoother. I think Margita would say it was really smooth. I'm trying to think, there was one big scene that's brand new, very cool. But for the most part, I thought I'd see more on the outside kind of new stuff.
Smoother, but still just Big Thunder Mountain.
I think that's what made me think about like you were saying with rock and roll. Rock and roll coaster probably has more because of the pre-show and the Muppets and
The theming, yeah.
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
The theming part,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, is probably more different. Big Thunder Mountain, you're going to go, okay, that was great, but I don't know why.
Well, Curt, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see the recording studio. I took a video of it.
Oh, okay.
So go to.
You did it, yeah.
I did a little
So you-
video of it, and I was able to post that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad we got to see some new stuff.
So you said you would go back to Epic, right?
Yeah, we were so impressed. We'd like to stay in the resort right inside the park. You know, we were saying, whatever happened to that hotel they're going to build in Epcot?
Oh, yeah. That was a while ago.
You know what? I'll tell you again, not to be, I'm on your show, so I can be critical, right?
Absolutely.
You could be snarky on the Disney Crush.
Marky on your show. We were saying, remember all of the things they promised for Epcot? That they
Oh,
did?
yeah. Mary Poppins and
But the whole Margita,
the
her
Play
big,
Pavilion.
yeah, her big stink was all those walls and time they took to build
Moana.
and the empty space.
Right.
I was excited about that because they were going to build an amphitheater there that looked
Mhm.
really cool. That had trees and floating.
Right.
I thought that was going to be a new music thing. And then Disney didn't do anything there, and Universal built Epic.
Right.
That's what was her comment.
And she's not wrong.
I was going to say, they cheapened out on it.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing.
We've talked to a security guard while we were in Epic. He was talking our ear off. He said they even had, you got to remember, they were starting this, I think, during COVID, building it too.
Right.
He said they had more plans. He thinks they even got, he says, I think they even cut down what they were planning on doing. I said, they did? I was like, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My understanding is they plan to expand it. They plan to put more stuff in it.
Well, maybe we'll finally get our 5th gate at Disney World.
I don't know about that. I think well, this summer is D23. So if they're going to announce things, they'll usually do it there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Josh will be all gung-ho now that he owns the place.
I'll be watching it if Josh is there.
I know you will.
David,
Yes, Toni-Ann?
did you have anything else? Or
You about ready to wrap this up?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you did say that that Epic Universe, I think you said, was amazing, and that you're going to book 2 nights at Helios, maybe in September, correct?
That's what we're thinking about.
Yeah, and I think Glenn said he advises if you do something like that you splurge for the park view because of the light show. So look into that. And if you're going to book your trip in September, Curt, do you know of any good travel agencies we could use to do that, something like that?
Hopefully the Travel and Tiaras will get me a discount for my trip. I think all my DVC points are gone. I spent them on Judy and Ken at the beach club. We're going to do February with my grandson. We're planning that with
That's so exciting.
So next February is going to be, we're staying at Old Key West. So yes, the Traveling Tiaras, Margita and Judy, and we're affiliated with Mandy Ray.
Yep. Royal
And-
Escapes.
Royal Escapes with Karen. It's a partnership made in heaven.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so how can they get a hold of you guys?
How can you get a hold of us? I don't know. You can go to most of you guys may already know. I do a podcast called Geekin on Walt Disney World.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, you're that guy.
Usually 13 years. I hit that anniversary, and I think a week later I went, oh my gosh, my anniversary went by a week ago, April 1st of past year. I do most of my stuff in my Facebook group. Of course, there's a website. You can find us. If you want to book travel, travelandtiaras@gmail.com.
Okay, there you go.
Email Margita and Judy. They
That's
love
awesome.
talking Disney World. And
Yes,
Epic,
they do.
now Margita knows what Epic Funny enough, I don't think Universal changed that much.
The original park, you mean?
Yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, she knows all the ins and outs of the. She's done all the training. She knows all the technical aspects of booking there. She has some good tips, I think, too, that she knows. But
Okay.
yeah,
and Judy knows her cruises.
She loves. Judy was on a cruise. She did the Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think I may expand. If I can figure out if I can do the timing, I might expand into doing another podcast. It's on my. If I don't do it now or soon, when I retire, I think I want to keep doing this. And so all of our travel friends, I've had some people say, why don't you talk about some other travel stuff? And if I do, it'll be another podcast. So
Geekin on travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you should do Geekin on Universal.
For all the praise I gave it, and I think Samantha and Deidre said the same, and you even alluded to it, Toni-Ann. It's still home. It still has that feeling. It's still the whole property is immersive,
right?
And it's still, it's still we still love it. We had an absolute fantastic time on this trip, and Disney World, even though we're so familiar with it, was still a big part of our enthusiasm and enjoyment of that trip. Yeah.
Yeah, not taking anything away from Walt Disney World. And I think the thing that sets Disney World apart from the Universal and SeaWorld and even Disneyland is that you have 4 different parks, and it's almost like you go on a little journey to go to the other parks. You got the monorail, the Skyliner, the boats. You're almost on a little journey just to get to the other park. It's kind of not a challenge, but just like a little journey. And that kind of sets Disney apart than the other parks.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to do. I did one episode. My friend Joe Taylor talked about, and I'm going to have you guys on as I get this series going to talk about planning a Disney World trip. I've always wanted to do that, so I've done one, and that's what I was thinking about too, Dave. It's people that go to theme parks in their local area. They think of what they're used to, that one or maybe 2 parks, and they're close together. You can't even explain what Disney World is properly.
Right.
The size of it and all of those things, like you're explaining the transportation. I mean, it's in our culture too. I mean, everyone knows, let's be obvious. I mean, Mickey Mouse, all the characters and the music and the movies, it's in our DNA. And then you wrap it. I mean, what Walt built there, or what he imagined and his brother brought into fruition. We were talking about this even when they first started in 71. You had Magic Kingdom, you had the 2 big resorts. There was nothing like that. They even had the campground.
And a campground.
Right? You think about that. Scott was showing me, he had his records his mom kept. He was showing me on his phone. The cost was like under $200 for this big package to go to Disney World. And I'm like, that's what I was talking to him about. Is like, that was impressive.
Judy talks about her honeymoon in 1972 was
just that, yeah,
$99 a person, I think, and they got a luau and tickets to the park and a room at the Polynesian. And
you're driving into this property. It's hard to explain, but yes, our love will never. It's okay to be honest and critical, and it's healthy for them to. I mean, that's what Walt wanted them to do, was to plus it, continue to build and improve. And so there you go.
All right, Josh, it's up to you.
Yep.
David?
All right, we're going to end this show, you guys. Thank you, Curt, so much for coming on. We really, really appreciate it. And before we leave, Toni-Ann, I have some useless facts.
Oh, Disney useless facts.
On this week's Disney's Useless Facts.
On April 3rd, 2019, can anybody tell me what that day was? That was the first time that Curt Stone from Geekin on Walt Disney World came on the Disney Crush podcast.
Really?
And if you hear this and you're the first one to let me know at thedisneycrush@gmail.com, I'll send you a Disney Crush coffee mug.
Okay.
How you like that?
So they have to send you the date of Curt's first.
That's right. Got to get it all
appearance
right.
on the Disney
April
Crush?
3rd, 2019. That's the
Okay.
day. Curt, thank you so much. We appreciate you, man.
That's awesome. That's only 7 years ago.
Only.
I guess we're starting to get old. So glad I met you guys and have been hanging out since 2019.
2019. Yep.
Did we meet after that? No.
I met
I've
you
done
at the first G3 in October of 2019.
Yeah, I met
Okay.
you before that too. Yeah, I met you at your very first meetup at
I
Nomad.
met you at Nomad.
Yeah.
Yes. That must have been a year or two before then.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like over 10 years.
Yeah, we begged and pleaded for 2 years, and you finally said, "Okay, I'll come on."
Come on.
Well, it's hard to
Hey.
get through the gates and, to book me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The gatekeepers have
Gatekeepers, right.
been trained very well. No, it's
All right.
so glad to collaborate with you guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate
it's a lot of fun.
for doing
We
this.
appreciate you. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks,
All right.
pals.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's Disney Crush podcast, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same place. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that's it. All right.
The key of truth has spoken!
Put a check on that. Can you do that, Dave? Can you put a check on that one?